From Archie McPherson on a chilly, windy night here in Bergen, Liverpool set out once again in pursuit of the trophy they have never laid hands on, the European Cup Winners' Cup. Their opponents tonight, Brann, stated the case for being taken very seriously indeed by travelling to Eindhoven in the last round and ousting the Dutch league leaders PSV by drawing with them and going through 4-3 on aggregate. And with the increasing reputation of Norwegian football, indeed in the whole of Scandinavia, no longer can their trips here be taken for granted. And given how Rosenberg of Trondheim played last night against Juve, and how any Liverpudlian bridles at the very name of Brøndby, who shocked them in the UEFA Cup last season at Anfield, Liverpool, have enough intimations of a very tough night in prospect. And Brann, whose season doesn't start again until April, have been off to the sun, indeed as far as South Africa, to prepare for this game. They played 2 games out there, 3 in Germany, and the indication of a high degree of professionalism here in a country that used to be a bit of a joke in football. And talking about jokes, the announcer has just told us, in fact, he addressed the Liverpool supporter way in the background there. He said, "Thank you very much indeed for sending over the 444 million litres of rain we've had in the past 3 days, just to make you feel at home." Well, it had an effect on this pitch. It looks all right just now, but I think it'll cut up, and a man who knows that is a man who walked on the pitch just a few minutes ago, and who this afternoon addressed the assembled throng of the Bergen branch of the Liverpool Supporters Club. I'm talking about one of the Liverpool legends, of course, former England and Liverpool goalkeeper Ray Clements. Well, Ray, this afternoon was it jam butties and gravelac?
No, it wasn't quite like that. We had there was the old ham and cheese sandwich, and they did try to give us a meat pie, I have to say. But it was a very, very enjoyable afternoon, and you know, the whole of Bergen is keyed up for this game. This is the biggest game they've had in their history. And they really fancy their chances against this Liverpool side. But, you know, Liverpool are an experienced side. They've got a lot of players in there that have got experience at all levels. And I think the whole game will hinge on the first 30 minutes of it, really.
Well, now, before we get to the team selections, this pitch. Now, as we see here, the viewers around Europe watching this just now will say, well, it doesn't look all that bad. But yesterday, the Russian referee considered calling the game off, and you've been on the pitch and think it's going to cut out.
I think so, yeah. It's a very sandy-based pitch, and as you'll see when the camera pans out, you'll see there are 1 or 2 ball patches in it, which are very, very soft. And I think as the game goes on, certainly it will cut up in certain areas.
Right, now let's get into this Liverpool team selection. There have been problems. He has had injuries. He's to arrange a different kind of defence, and has brought in John Harkness.
Yes, I mean, it's...
there we are, that's the team now.
Slightly a surprise bringing Steve Harkness. It's his first game back at senior level since breaking his leg. He's had a few reserve games, so he should be OK fitness-wise. But what it does mean is they'll finish up playing with 3 at the back, all left-footers. MATCHEU, I'm presuming, will go to the right-hand side of the back 3. Ruddock will play in the middle of it, and Harkness will play on that left-hand side.
No, the unfortunate thing about Steve Harkness is he's had 2 serious leg breaks. In fact, the very first senior game after his leg break, he broke it again. Now, can players really recover at the top level when something like that happens to them?
Yes, I mean, it's a mental thing, and I'm sure that you know, the Liverpool staff have looked at that situation and said, yes, he's ready for it. You know, there we see the makeup of the team. Berger, I feel, will drop off the front. I think that Fowler will play up the front on his own, and Berger and McManaman will play off Fowler, A, to make them more solid defensively, but B, both of them are capable of breaking very quickly from midfield.
Now, there's Brann, and I want all Liverpudlians watching this programme tonight, and I'm sure there's a huge throng, to keep your eyes on number 9. Andre Torre Flo, who might end up on Merseyside next season. The rumours are he's been looked at, he's impressed the Liverpool staff. I'm quite sure they don't want him to play too well tonight, but he's a powerful, powerful front runner, and I suspect he's going to be left on his own tonight.
Well, yes, he's a tall, gangly lad. He doesn't look the smoothest of movers at times, doesn't look the quickest at times, but he always finishes up, get on the end of balls. And certainly, again, with that situation there, I think that Hassan will drop back slightly, and Flo will be the lone striker, being joined by midfield players.
Now, very, very significantly, Mons Ivar Mjelde, who's one of the top goal scorers with 19 goals, cannot play in this game tonight, and they've had to rearrange the team as well. There we are. That's a little bare patch on the pitch there. Now, what they've done is Imelda, who was very doubtful. He's been sick all week. I don't think it's an injury. He's just been feeling under the weather. Off we go into the start of this game. And what they've done is bring in an Icelandic player. He'll be playing, I think, just off Flo, just in behind Flo. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how he copes with the high professionalism of Liverpool. We saw them, of course, in Eurosport, playing away from home against Sion. And they went about their job very clinically and efficiently. Not so good at the weekend, perhaps, but playing on a pitch that didn't suit them, Ray. It was cutting up, and even McManaman could make not all that many of his long runs.
No, it was very difficult for him to run with the ball as such because it was bobbling all over the place. But it's interesting as we talk about how Brann will set themselves up.
Now there's a tag now, Flo going through with a wonderful chance to score, and it's just taken away. And that shows you the strength of this man, breaking away and just shrugging off the defenders as he came at him.
Well, that would be very worrying for the Liverpool bench, that all of a sudden Neil Ruddock was left exposed 1 against 1, and Flo got the other side of him, and really should have scored because he rounded David James and just took a little bit too much time to actually stick it into the net, and Ruddock bailed them out. But that was a little worrying. I mean, one of the problems when sides play with one up the field, as Brann are doing, is that which one of the back three picks him up. And sometimes nobody picks him up, and all of a sudden he gets that space like he did just a couple of seconds ago.
Well, he missed the 4 games of the Norwegian season and yet ended up the top scorer in the league with 19 goals. So very good average of striking. I think what might have put him off there, Ray, was the surface. He didn't seem to be too confident as he made his way towards the goalkeeper. It's MATCHEurosport on the far side.
So I'm a little surprised with the Norwegians' tactics, really, because I would have thought that their best chance of getting something out of this game was to really go at Liverpool in the first 25-30 minutes. And that they're standing off, playing with one up the front and allowing Liverpool to have lots of the ball. And the more possession you give Liverpool, the more confident they'll get and the more they'll get into their pattern of play.
McManaman, who's going to be very closely marked, coming right down his throat there was Erik Skaljan, a local boy who is, I think, his strongest asset, as I hear from the locals here, is simply a marker, a hard worker. Now, not neatly picked up. Redknapp trying to put that away. And a tackle eventually there. Eftervag came across. Eftervag, the captain of this side. Great reputation. Played round the side there to Paldan. And a rather weak ball. Well, I think that might concentrate the mind of that Liverpool defence after that one.
Well, certainly it was a scare for them, and one which could have been very, very costly, and it was only because Flo just hesitated after he'd taken it round David James, couldn't quite get his balance, that they're not actually 1-0 down.
Redknapp touched that, taken up by MATCHEurosport. That driving running of his to the right, of course, essential tonight. Well, some local boos for Bjornaby as he picked that up. John Barnes just slightly late. They're closing down in Liverpool in midfield very quickly. McManaman. Just a little bit bogged down in midfield at the moment. John Barnes took that up well, and this is where they could be dangerous, except there's only Flo up. And the player there that picked that up, Hassan, had one look at Flo and then changed his mind about putting the ball forward. He saw that Flo was outnumbered, which gets back to what you were saying, Ray.
Yes, I mean, there was no support there whatsoever, and that's a problem that the Norwegians will have with the system that they've got. And I personally feel that they're playing into the hands of Liverpool at this present moment, and I'm sure that Roy Evans is quite happy with the way that the Norwegians have set themselves up in this game.
Wind seems to be blowing rather diagonally right to left across the pitch. Very difficult to walk out. I think maybe in Liverpool's favour at the moment. Harkness trying to get Bjornaby away there and just touched away. Well, loud growl of disappointment there as that was touched away. Matteo looking very solid at the moment. Berger. Redknapp taking his eye off it. McManaman. He'll want to go at the defence. Easily picked up there by Ludvigsson. Now here's a rush forward. But James out of his goal very quickly. Oh. Just plucked out of the air there by Ruddock as James tried to get back. Now Barnes. Always remember that wonderful goal Barnes scored against Brazil. Since then, of course, these days dropped back into midfield on now the Povera passes. That's a bit of ball down the right-hand side. McAteer picking up as usual. Matteo was giving support onto Barnes. Liverpool on the passing game again. That's a useful ball. Headed just away by Ludvigsson. Pierre-Avi Ludvigsson, 30 years of age, another local boy here, played with the other team in Bergen. Ludvigsson, the man who cleared that ball there, was rated very highly by the national coach. It looked as if he might be the centre of the Norwegian defence, and then he suffered a very serious groin injury, and that put an end to his international career. He's now a very solid club player. Robbie Fowler scored his 100th goal for the club this season against Middlesbrough. Scoring rate is quite phenomenal. John Barnes slipped down there by Redknapp, playing confidently at the moment, and the Norwegians allowing them to knock the ball about like this. I've already seen a game like this week when Brøndby took on Tenerife. It allowed Tenerife to do all the play and then broke away, so it's got to be a thought in the back of Liverpool's mind.
Yes, it has, but I'm sure that they'll be happy to keep possession of the ball and play at their own pace, which is exactly what Brann are allowing them to do at the moment. Just pass it around, just change into another gear when they get into the attacking third of the field. But in the middle field, third of the field, they've just got total control of the game.
That was Paldon taking that away. McAteer. Redknapp. Going across the field just now. He's got to make the run, and just another touch inside there by Berger. McAteer in that normal position. They can send that ball instinctively out to the right-hand side, and he's got to be somewhere around there. And I think the goalkeeper, Vidar Bahus, realized that was going past all the way. Well, no Collymore tonight, of course. Straight swap there with Berger in position. Now John Barnes. I thought Fowler for a moment was going to dummy that. Certainly had Redknapp just behind him. Well, they certainly like to pass the ball around like this, Liverpool, but they're not making all that much progress at the moment, and a very patient-looking red-shirted side, just letting them play around with it.
Well, let's remember it's a European tie. They're not playing for points in the league. It's a case of getting through over two legs. And although, you know, Liverpool would love to win this game, a 0-0 result isn't the worst thing in the world for them. So they'll be very happy with the way that things have gone.
Oh, Fowler, brilliantly done. Now, can he put it away? Oh, what a superb goal! Fowler rattling it in, would you believe, in 11 minutes. And has he scored a better one than this, Ray?
Well, this is a fantastic first touch. Bjorn O'Bee, watch this, outside of the heel, over the top of the defender. No covering defender, and then a volleyed finish in the near post. Keeper may be a little bit disappointed, but just this touch here is absolutely world class. and then as it drops down, he looks where the keeper is, knows he has to volley, he hasn't got any more time, rifles it in. Well, that's exactly what Liverpool's needed.
Well, I think there's an assumption you've got to be born and brought up in Copacabana Beach to take balls and score goals like that, but there you are. He comes from a colder clime, but he has the elasticity in his play that almost as if the sun beams down in his back all the time. That was a glorious goal.
Well, we saw some good goals in the Champions League last night, but none better than that, I'm sure.
So 1-0. Great start. Scoring a goal away from home at any time gives you that added dimension. No chance there. It was Ludvigsen that came forward. Here's the break. MATCHEUrosport almost went away with it. Now we've got at least 4 red shirts coming forward here. And that's away wild. No chance for Hassan. They came in there with the Liverpool defence having backtracked very quickly indeed.
Well, really, he tried to place it into that top corner there, didn't he? But didn't get the accuracy and put it way wide. But you can see what his idea was. But to be fair to Neil Ruddock, he closed him down very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think his presence put him off more than anything else. Well, that'll certainly warm up the Liverpool support here tonight. There's about 1,000 of them just to our right-hand side. And it really is very cold. There's MATCHEUrosport going on that run again. And I think that might be a goal kick, yes. Took that very well, MATCHEUrosport. Straightforward player, but of course it's effective to have somebody wide who can play in very quick and unexpected balls, which he does brilliantly. That's the goalkeeper who's playing here under surprising circumstances. He really shouldn't be here. Christiansen, the Icelandic goalkeeper, and Peterson, the outfield player, were quite astonishingly loaned to different clubs. Christiansen went to Birmingham and Peterson to Cercle Bruges, which was against UEFA regulations, and banned from playing in this game as a result. I don't know, in this day and age with lawyers and agents, how on earth was that mistake made? Because it's certainly weakened this side.
Well, that's right, certainly. I think there's been repercussions inside the Brann club since that decision was made as well. So I think somebody has paid for that terrible mistake.
They have 4 players forward. There were 5 getting uphill and coming into attack. No chance of Flo. Thought Flo played remarkably well recently when Norway went to Switzerland to play. They won by 1-0. He didn't score the goal, but he really bothered that Swiss defense with his height and his physique. Very difficult to dispossess. Barnes. Must say, Ray, maybe because of the wind, the pitch seems to have dried out very quickly.
Yes, there's 1 or 2 little areas where it's cutting up, but in general, no, the ball's been allowed to be passed around on it very well.
Well played just forward. Haslan coming into the attack again. No free kick, the referee says. McManaman. Ruddock. Ruddock brought to Liverpool, of course, by Graham Souness. He liked that kind of central defender. Remember, he signed Graham Roberts for Glasgow Rangers when he went there. Somebody who's no blushing violet, let's put it that way.
No, Neil Ruddock, he wears his heart on his sleeve. When he gets out on that field, he takes no prisoners whatsoever, and consequently, occasionally gets in trouble for it. But you know what you're going to get from Neil Ruddock when he's out there with that Liverpool shirt on. He's 100% committed, and he'll do everything in his power to make sure that nobody gets past him.
They have quality. I mean, the Norwegians were saying to me before the game that although they were perhaps more confident than some of the others have been in the past, that Liverpool had class. And Ruddock giving them substance at the back has supplemented by the class of players like Jimmy Redknapp, and it's great to see him back in football after injuries that kept him out of the game so much.
I mean, the thing is with Neil Ruddock, not only is he a good defender, he's got a tremendous left foot. Let's not forget that it was his pass, long pass to Bjornaby, which was headed on for Fowler to score the goal. And he's capable of doing that with that left foot, knocking balls left to right or right to left.
And he never seems unruffled until somebody ruffles him, and then he makes it obvious. So there's the goalkeeper, Vida Bajos. He's already played in the European Cup, by the way. He's not really considered very strong. I think the locals feel he might be the weak link, but he'd absolutely no chance with that shot by Fowler. Yes, he played for the other club, Killingen, against Atletico Madrid. Now picked up by Helland. Nicely shepherded there away to the corner by McAteer. Doing his job perfectly. Well, he looks good in here. Tall, 6'5". And it must be good for a defense to know a goalkeeper like that is at the back.
Well, that's just what you want away from home, is somebody who comes and commands that box when he needs to come. And I think David James has matured in this last couple of years, and certainly he gets better all the time. And you know, in those situations where the ball's hanging up there, he should come and collect them. And certainly on that occasion, although Brann had one or two tall attackers up there, he has the confidence to come and catch those balls.
John Barnes, Matteo, McAteer. You know, they not only have class, of course, they have experience as well. And I really do think if they just watch what they're doing, they have taken a huge stride towards getting into the semi-finals by that spectacular goal by Fowler. Harkness. Redknapp. Now Barnes with that look of determination on his face. Flicked away by Moon. And that'll be covered again.
What has surprised me is that since we've been out here, Archie, you know, the Brann supporters have been saying how confident that they are of getting a result and beating Liverpool, and yet they've come out on the field, and I think they're obviously in fear and have got so much respect for Liverpool that they're just not closing them down, and therefore giving them the opportunity to pass this ball around. You would have thought if they had that much confidence, they would have really had a go at Liverpool's defence. And so far, they've not been allowed to do that.
Well, I think the important thing is Liverpool scoring that early goal. I think if, you know, it'd been nothing each well into the second half, it would have become a rather nervous situation for Liverpool. Now, I think they've relaxed considerably. Trouble is, the worst aspect of the Scandinavian sides, Ray, is they can look robotic, you know, as if they play too rigidly to a game plan. Sometimes it comes off for them, of course. McManaman, Barnes, Redknapp fighting hard for that. Might take him yet another month or so to get really into full stride, Redknapp.
Well, I think the more games he plays, the more improvement he shows, to be fair. I mean, the other interesting thing is what Liverpool have done is like in the old days, is you come away from home, and as we know beforehand, Archie, the atmosphere was fantastic before the game, and one that, you know, might have intimidated Liverpool. But certainly Liverpool had so much possession of the ball. The Brann supporters have gone absolutely quiet, and the only noise we can hear in the stadium is the Liverpool supporters to our right-hand side cheering their team on.
We're really enjoying this performance at the moment. And by that I don't mean it's a spectacular game in any way, but Liverpool really have taken a strong grip. They really have clamped down on this match. And it helps to have a striker like Fowler. Took him a long while to score his first European goal. He scored it when Eurosport covered that game in Sion.
Well, I've seen the last couple of games that Fowler's played in, and you know, certainly at Blackburn at home he missed 4 or 5 chances he normally would put in. Then at Villa he missed a golden opportunity, and 1 or 2 people were saying, well, has he lost that scoring touch? People like Fowler don't lose their scoring touch. They'll always score goals. Yes, they'll miss them. But
well, he scored 22 this season. I mean, that must be good in anybody's language, and that's strongly in the bank. Shouting out there. That wasn't the coach, by the way. I think that was the physio. The coach is Kiel Tienford. Man has only been 2 years with the club. Barnes. By the way, Brann are here only by courtesy of Rosenborg winning both the league championship and the cup. They were beaten in the final by Rosenborg. And Cavani is not here, of course, because he played for Rosenborg in the Champions League. Or else he would be playing for Liverpool tonight. Well, I don't know who's booing, but if it's a criticism of the way that Liverpool are simply holding on to the ball just now, then really the onus should be on the Norwegians to take the initiative.
Well, in fact, I don't think they're actually booing Liverpool. I think they're actually having to go at their own team because they're standing off and just let Liverpool do what they want, really.
He's looking in towards Flo. There's a little touch on. That's a decent ball. That ball played in towards Helland off the head of Flo.
Well, that was a super tackle by Harkness there. Steve Harkness on his right-hand side, not his best side, but had to time his tackle to perfection, otherwise there was the possibility of a penalty.
Just get the feeling there are more goals in Liverpool all the same. I mean, Fowler's hardly touched the ball in the game, and he's touched it effectively. He came way back into defence, as you saw.
Well, you feel Liverpool are playing within themselves at the moment. They're not being stretched. Obviously, the problem with that is does complacency sit in, and then they might make an error at the back and encourage the Norwegians to actually come and have a go at them. But at the moment, they're comfortable.
Well, really nobody pressurising John Barnes as he picked it up there. You would have thought there would have been a challenge. Nobody coming forward. It's as if you feel Liverpool have something up their sleeve, you know, that suddenly they're going to unleash something. Well, they certainly did with Fowler. And that's a better looking ball. Berger begins to come forward. John Barnes. Bjorneby. That's a better ball inside, but chucked away there by Efterberg again. It is said that Anderlecht are looking at him tonight, the central defender. And indeed, he was a teenage trialist with Liverpool. That was something like 10 years ago. Well, he is a solid player. There's Redknapp, I was talking about. Always been a talented player. Lots of good football in him. You know, when you think of it, Ray, it cost £500,000 from Bournemouth.
No, I mean, obviously, you think of what his value would be on the open market now, it would be incredible. But, you know, he's had to fight to get back in the side because Michael Thomas and John Barnes have held those two central midfield players positions for some while this season. And Jamie Redknapp's had to be patient, but I'm sure now that he's got back in the side, he'll make sure that, barring injury, he takes some shifting.
Well, he's been unlucky too. I think he had one of the shortest spells with an English international side when he came on for 6 minutes. He was substituted after 6 minutes.
Yes,
that was a serious hamstring injury.
I think he had an ankle as well, to be honest, and really that ankle injury is something that has hampered him this season.
Now, I have to confess that this game, as European spectaculars go, is like watching grass growing, but Liverpool have functioned as only they know how. They're in the lead. They don't mind the fact that this side are simply camped in their own half without trying to do anything, certainly not creatively. Now, here's Flo. Always the opportunity that he could bustle his way through. Well, they were ruffled there. Mistake there by Ludvigsson. There's the Liverpool coach right out there screaming at his men. Redknapp. Redknapp, by the way, the youngest player ever to play for Liverpool in Europe. That's a free kick. Conceded there by Ludvigsson.
Well, there's no doubt in his right underneath McManaman then. And he encourages people, McManaman, to tackle him like that because he's got such tight control of the ball.
What a beautifully judged pass that was by Robbie Fowler. Superbly weighted. McAteer waiting for it. There's Barnes. Redknapp. Inching the way forward again. I think that might be a free kick. And there's a large divot out of the turf just to prove that Ray Clements actually was on the pitch, and it actually is soft.
That's the piece I was walking on there.
Still 1-0 to Liverpool. Oh, that's a mistake. In comes Berger. He could kill it now. Well, disappointing there. Berger saw his opportunity to flash in.
Yeah, I mean, he's very strong, gets across Paldon there, and he's disappointed there he doesn't actually hit the ball across the keeper, and he had a real chance of scoring then.
Taken just about 32 minutes, 22 minutes gone, and sliced away. Paldon onto Flo. Well tackled by Ruddock. Good support by McAteer. Just coming into that zone at the right time. There's Barnes. Now here's the run. I certainly would like to see. There's perhaps no more exciting spectacle in British football than this man picking the ball up and running from deep. Didn't see much of it against Villa, but he was playing on a very poor pitch. Ball seemed to bobble away from him all the time when he picked it up. McManaman. That's a useful ball, and not surprisingly, makes a mistake again. Great ball swept in there by Bjornaby, and Ray, I think I'm right in saying, and indeed stressing the fears of the locals about this man.
Well, it was a good cross on Bjornaby to the far post, wasn't it? But Bahus there was like chasing the 27 bus, wasn't he? I mean, he was never ever going to get to the ball. And Robbie Fowler again with that audacious little flick of the outside of his foot nearly caused major embarrassment to him.
Well, at this stage, you'll have to say that Brann are a feckless outfit. But that's simply in itself a warning to Liverpool not to get complacent, as Ray said. Ruddock. He certainly has a physique to take on this strong, rugged front runner of Brann. Free kick. We're taken by Harkness. On to Redknapp. McAteer. Got inside there, looking inside for McManaman. And a valuable thing as they keep possession. Redknapp hasn't ventured all that deeply into the Brann half. Might just get this a little bit lucky. No free kick. Bjornaby picks it up again, and Berger makes a run on the left. Neatly cut off on the right-hand side there by Paldon. Barnes. No, just lacking a little bit of sharpness there, maybe not surprising. Short Barnes. Well, it is cutting up there. You could see a closer shot there of certain parts of the pitch. Redknapp. they really are playing comfortably, Ray, here. You wonder, is there some sort of deceit going on with this team? Are they going to turn around in the second half in a kind of Jekyll and Hyde performance? Bjornaby. Nice little dummy there, and I think McManaman tried to play it back to Berger.
I don't think McManaman realised how much space he had there. He actually looked as though he had time to maybe control that and have a finish himself, and in fact tried to set up Berger, and that didn't come off. But certainly the opportunity was there. A good ball in from his left-hand side again, and it caused the Bergen defence problems.
Free kick. Try to play that to the outside, and it'll be taken, I think, by Bjornaby. McManaman's there as well. Just recovering. Seemed to take a knock on the hip. Bjornaby with it. Headed away there by Gleitson. And I think that's right out of the ground. They're running all the way down to the harbour. Satisfied at this stage, I'm quite sure.
Very satisfied. Liverpool have done a European job. They've kept the ball, they've quietened the crowd, they've scored a goal, and they've had 2 or 3 other openings where they might have scored a second goal. And I'm sure that Roy Evans, sat on the bench, will be quite happy with the way things are going at the moment.
Well, the Norwegian crowds in the past, the very recent past, have shown a great deal of fervour, but I don't know, tonight I always get the feeling they've heard all the pubs are closed for the rest of the night. There's a kind of funereal silence away across on the far side. Free kick be taken by Peterson. Redknapp. Barnes. Harkness playing with Barnes there, and then the forward movement. That's a bit of play, and a loose slack pass there by Fowler. I think McManaman wanted to go down that inside left channel there.
Well, certainly it was a well-worked move with Liverpool. Just a final pass from Fowler, just didn't have enough pace on to get Bjornaby in around the back of them.
Bjornaby to take this. There goes that left ball, and Fowler. He had his hand on the trigger that time. Flo all on his own. Put forward there by Peterson, and then strong tackle there by Harkness. Playing his part very well here.
Well, I'm sure that Harkness is quite happy with the game, the way the game is played. His first game for some while, and really he's not been pressurised so far. What he's had to do, he's dealt with very well. We've just seen a good tackle there on his left side. He put in a very good tackle on his right-hand side inside the penalty area before, so he'll be happy also with the way things have started for him in this game.
Well, I think the memories of Brøndby are still alive and fresh in the minds of Liverpool supporters, because talking to some of them today, really, they weren't all that happy about how this game might go tonight.
No, it's had the makings of a very tricky night here, but I say their performance so far has turned it sometimes, the pace that Liverpool have played at, into more like a practice game.
Worked forward neatly by Helland. There's Flo. As I said, very difficult to dispossess. Almost gets his way through. He is the most inelegant of players, but very effective. And, you know, it's astonishing that they're not plying him with the ball up front, because he does have the capability. I thought he was offside there by at least 2 yards. He does get his shot in. And quite frankly, I think the linesman was behind the play there, Ray.
Well, certainly he looked in an offside position from where our position was, and thankfully Flo got underneath that and didn't get it on target, otherwise it could have been very embarrassing.
Well, he comes from a very strong family, of course, the brother of Josten of Sheffield and the cousin of Herbert Flo of Werder Bremen. So it runs in the family. He scored 6 goals in the 3 friendly matches I was talking about that they played in South Africa, and 19 goals last season, in the season that ended prior to it starting up again, as it will in April. A little bit of confusion there. Ludvigsen gets it away, and that should be got by James. Gets back to his goal quickly. Well, Harkness just losing out in that, slipping in from the back there. Just coming in very quickly was Peterson again. Bustling figure of Fowler, who's come back deep again to pick up the ball. So I said he hasn't been in the game all that much, but a great striker doesn't really need to be, as long as he does his job when asked, and he has. Berger. Redknapp. McAteer. Once again going from the short passing game to that very long pass. Now McManaman, can he take his player on? He can't. That was Bone coming up, taking that ball away from him. There's the captain, Ertebag, sending that clear. And a bit of a push, yes. Flo doesn't like that decision.
I think it's quite right. Just watch his hands go onto the back there of Harkness, and certainly in my mind that was always a free kick. I'm pleased that the referee actually gave it.
So 1-0 to Liverpool, score still. Barnes. An effective forward pass that time by Barnes, looking for Bjornaby now. Oh, almost got away with that, McManaman. Delightful little turn. The Icelandic player is simply playing a marking game. And I really do think they're missing the other striker. I mean, they have had to revise their whole side because he's not playing. Mons Iva Mjelde, or else he would have been playing up beside Flo.
Yes, I'm sure that's upset them, but still you thought they'd have been more aggressive than what they have been. I mean, they've got 5 in the middle of the field, and yet McManaman still keeps getting himself in between the 5 midfield players and the back four players, and picking up the balls exactly like that. And really, you know, you can't be allowing McManaman that sort of space in this type of game.
Bustling into that Helland. Doesn't quite get it, though. Redknapp. Once again, there's only Flo in the Liverpool half. I just wonder if, even though they're 1 goal up, 1 or 2 of the players having to go forward will get a little bit frustrated with all of this. McAteer. The onus on keeping possession. And no team does it better than Liverpool. Ruddock. That was a longer ball again. McManaman. Harkness. Just popped back in again. This is the Icelandic player I was talking about. Gledson. Brought into the team just to play in midfield and leave Flo all on his own. Now McAteer. Ruddock. Liverpool players not running off the ball all that imaginatively at the moment. I think they're certainly very closely marked, and there's a kind of mistake that Ray was anticipating might be made. And I think the referee has given the free kick for that, and there's going to be a yellow card for Ruddock. Just took it far too easily, Ray.
Yeah, so it was a poor pass from John Barnes back to Ruddock. It always put him in trouble, and when he tried to clear it, Flo got into him very quickly, and there we saw the foul, which finished up with him getting the yellow card, which really is unnecessary in a game like this, which could cost him later in the competition.
So free kick. So we're lining up here, number 3, of course, Eftervag. That's the captain. Liverpool line up. Hassan, of course, could take this as well. Free kick expert. Here he is going back. Scored against PSV in this time. Totally miscuing it with 5 minutes remaining of this first half. And Liverpool still leading by 1-0. Running again, this time looking a bit cumbersome. Can't get the shot in. Flo comes down there as Hassan again brought that ball down, and the Liverpool defence back very quickly. And although he hasn't had a ball all that often, this big man, there he is again, Flo, trying to get around his man, almost doing it and appealing for the penalty kick, but that was purely theatrical.
Well, again, it was Harkness that actually saved the day with that tackle, and Flo shrugged him off the ball there. And this is a good tackle by Matteo there. He definitely plays the ball for me. There's no doubt that it's not a penalty kick, but they certainly do get a corner out of it.
Well, the sheer inactivity seems to be encroaching on Liverpool at the moment. They've been doing nothing at the back. They haven't been put under pressure, but as I said, Flo's very presence, his huge, towering physique, making of a danger. James just getting his hand to it. Up he goes again. And he's not in goal. And Ruddock right in line. And for the first time, and only very briefly, Liverpool have been under pressure.
Yeah, certainly it was a dangerous corner. Brann had 3 players in the 6-yard box. James got the first punch. The second punch wasn't good. You saw him out of goal there. Here we see he gets a good fist to the first one. And then Matteo gets a good block on the ball. James decides to come for it, and all of a sudden there was all sorts of chaos.
And I think free kick there, it eases the pressure. And it needed to be at that stage as Skyline came up. Eric Skyline lifted his boot too high, and Liverpool surviving that. Well, I'm sure the manager wouldn't agree, but I think they needed something like that to bring them to the senses again. I think they've lapsed into a kind of a complacent mood. Now, should be put back by the head, but Matteo wants to come out of that himself. On to James. Now Barnes, at long last, he's a bit of open space there, and good backtracking all the same by Peterson. Just put him off. Barnes had a bit of spare acreage there for the first time in the match almost.
Yes, unfortunately, when the ball landed at his feet, for once his touch let him down. This first touch took the ball just too far away from him and allowed the tackle to come in and stop his pass from being as efficient as I'm sure it would have been.
Where they go again? Hassan, and I think offside. Trying to ply this man with the ball. As I said, we are hearing that Liverpool are very interested in him. Certainly are at the moment. Well, not much in it. Although we've said before, Ray, the running of the line by the assistant referees, as they're nobly called now, is causing a lot of controversy in games.
Yes, I think certainly in the number of games that we see this season that there have been errors by the assistant referees, as you rightly say they're called. And certainly with this offside decision, it's something we all look to improve in different areas, and I think that's an area where these assistant referees could possibly improve.
Nicely put in, and this time the goalkeeper Vida Bahus gets it. Brann finished 4th in the Norwegian League this season, but they had Christiansen in goal throughout that, the Icelandic goalkeeper. And that certainly meant a lot to them. Harkness with it. Bobby Fowler. What a night it must be for a striker if he realizes he might be left on his own a lot and he scores a brilliant goal. I mean, it does make the night for you, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but also, you know, when you know you've got the likes of McManaman and Berger.
That's a bit of looking ball. There's flow. Chased eventually by Hilland. And very cool play indeed by MATCHEurosport and Matthew. Two young players. McManaman seemed to take his eye off it. Did have an opportunity, and now they're beginning to wake up this team. Peterson, that might be a free kick. Right on the edge of the box. Ruddock is saying he took a dive.
Well, I think to be fair to Harkness, is a bit unfortunate there. That certainly for me there was no contact there. There's the touch. It's just a clash. It's not a tackle, and he's fell over. And now this is an important situation now, just on the mouth of hard time, that Liverpool do not concede from this free kick.
I think very likely that Hassan will take this. He scored with a free kick against PSV. So, up he comes again. And now we can hear the Norwegians in the background. One thought they had taken to the hills, but they are there. And it's driven right against the white wall, out again. And the run forwards. Referee had his arm up, and I think that is the half-time whistle, in fact, and Liverpool walk contentedly towards the pavilion, leading by 1-0. And I'm quite sure people watching this in Liverpool will be arguing about whether the goal we saw tonight by Robbie Fowler was the best he has ever scored. We'll be back, of course, very shortly. You'll be watching the whole second half live. But let's just watch this just before we go. This was a chance, the sole chance in the first 25 minutes that the Norwegian side had. And he really should have done rather better than that. Now watch this again. Beautiful ball played inside. Fowler up in the air and then driving it in. Well, there we are. I think one of the best I've seen him score.
Excuse me, think your regular razor shaves as well as his Gillette Sensor XL?
Yeah.
Well, try...
Back live to Euro Cups with Konica.
You're looking at the Brann Stadium, and of course the second half between Liverpool and Brann about to come up. Liverpool leading by 1-0. Great strike by Robbie Fowler. And we'll be back after the commercial break. Remember, you're watching Eurosport, and we'll have Brann against Liverpool second half very shortly. And welcome back to the Brann Stadium. About to start the second half, and we can tell you as we go into the second half that Brann have made a very significant substitution. The man I was saying, who's been ill over the past 2 or 3 days, didn't start the game, was on the bench, is now on. Mons Ivar Mjelde. He's a striker. He scored 19 goals along with Flo this season, played for Austria Wien, and really regarded as a powerful force. They were obviously concerned about his full 100% fitness, but that might change their whole strategy, Ray.
Well, certainly I think they'll get the ball forward quicker now. They'll play with two up the front. They've now got quite a strong breeze behind them to help them on, and it really will now be a test, I think, more of a test for the Liverpool back three.
Ball swept away forward. Pushed forward there by Moan. Well, I think, you know, they must have looked at how uncomfortable Ruddock has been on the one-to-ones against Flo and said, well, maybe we can pressurize them just a little bit more.
Well, Neil, to be fair to him, he hasn't played for some while, and he has at times when he's been left one against one with Flo, it has looked a little bit sluggish and a little bit heavy around his feet when the ball's been there as well. But, you know, he's now going to get tested, that's a certainty.
Skyland put that forward. Peterson. Nicely touched back by Fowler. Every Liverpool player back in defence at the moment. Not that I think they're particularly anxious. Just forming up very well now. A little bit of a spot going on here, and James almost beaten by that. That's the man who's just come on as a substitute. Certainly looks 100% fit with a shot like that. Whether he'll last or not, Ray, I don't know.
Well, it's a good way to start with your first touch, isn't it? Tremendous his left foot there. James stretching all. May well have had it covered if it had been on target, but that certainly has livened up the crowd, who went very, very quiet in that first half.
Well, I think the coach, Kjell Kjenford, has given them a real roasting at half-time, and that's it! The equaliser in exactly 2.5 minutes. And you know, I think there was no way, but look at the way he turns the ball here. Beautiful goal by Hassund. The man who scored against PSV.
Well, you see, he turns Neil Ruddock again. Neil a bit awkward there, and that's a great finish. He's bent it in there. Watch him turn Neil Ruddock. Neil can't get back at him there. Matteo can't close him down, and certainly James had no chance with that whatsoever. A great goal.
Well, you know, this is the man who's considered only a fringe player with the club. Just in and out of the team. He hasn't been a regular playing in league football. And now suddenly he scores a superb equaliser, and one wonders. I mentioned this Jekyll and Hyde possibility about this side. And now they've gone at Liverpool for the first time in a game. That's quick run forward there, and the retaliation, and now that's confirmation of that score. And I think we're in for a different game now. That's the announcer reminding us all in case we didn't know what the score was, and up goes Ruddock. Surely they must have read the unease that he was exhibiting in that first half, and now the pressure is on.
Well, so they're just, you know, they look a different outfit because they've got these two men.
Peterson down there, and out comes James. Well, just for a moment, it did look as if Harkness was going to let that slip. Oh, but James gets there.
Well, Liverpool have now got to do a job of work of quieting the crowd down again. They were silent in the first half, but hear them now. They're really getting behind their side. And plus this very strong wind they've got behind them is going to help them.
Well, I think they certainly must ply the ball now to Robbie Fowler. He looked in the mood to start off with. There's John Barnes. Berger puts it in. Redknapp. McAteer. McManaman. McManaman goes down the side. This really has aroused Liverpool, and McAteer with the shot. There he is again, leaving it to Redknapp. Barnes. Sharper play by Liverpool. I think the war of attrition that this side have been playing did affect Liverpool. The sharpness went. Now they've got it back, stung by that goal. And we really have had two superb goals in this game. Bjorneby with it, the goalkeeper. Certainly wasn't found wanting this time, despite his rather mediocre reputation. Can't get hold of that. Well, remember in Sion, the Swiss did have a very good start against Liverpool. But the professional way Liverpool went about it after early adversity is something I think that they have to repeat here now. They've come back rather well, playing confidently again. Here's McAteer. Wasn't such an easy ball he put forward there, Ray.
No, I think sort of Berger wanted it earlier than what McAteer was prepared to give it to, and it allowed the defender the time to hassle that ball out of play.
Oh, he's made a mistake and he brings Fowler down. Well, the referee who's about, 30 yards away, has given the foul against Fowler.
Well, in my eyes, Fowler has done nothing wrong there. That's a penalty. It's as simple as that. The keeper just drops the ball. He just drops the ball and then pulls Robbie Fowler down.
Well, the referee, as I said, was nowhere near that. Neither was the linesman on the side, so I think Brann are very fortunate indeed. Nice little ball played forwards. Well, you know, I think that's a pretty conventional thing, is it not? The defender always gets the benefit of a doubt in a situation like that, and that time it was the goalkeeper. Now, here goes Fowler. Slightly loose with that. Long one by Paldan. Should be picked up by Redknapp. Way by Matteo. Ruddock. That might just be got in McAteer. I think put off by the presence of Peterson coming in towards him. That's a goal scorer. Ruddock after that, I think a little bit of a push though. Yes, it has been given. It's a free kick. Actually, the goalkeeper wasn't pressurized all that much in the first half, Bahus.
No, he wasn't. No.
Liverpool had a lot of possession without actually getting into the box and troubling him. However, Peterson about to take this free kick. Just over 8 minutes gone. No problems there. Peterson, modern Peterson, playing in his second season for the club. Came up through the ranks of second and third division football. Well, McAteer playing down the right-hand side. I think his enthusiasm comes from the days when he was a regular on the Kop at Liverpool.
He does a superb job for Liverpool down that right-hand side. I mean, he's got a fantastic engine there. He's up and down that right-hand side, and when he gets in the last third of the field, he tends to get very good balls into the box for the strikers.
Well, that missed passing won't do at all as Glatterson, the Icelandic player, swept that away forward. There's a run by Fowler. He'll do a lot to get that one as Pierre-Ove Ludvigsen comes across. Picked up by Barnes. Berger, Barnes, that's good play. Can Barnes slip it aside? Now Fowler going in, tries to beat the goalkeeper. Wonderful play. Barnes right at the heart of it. And I wonder, did he strike it too soon?
No, I think he saw he was going to get closed down outside of the left foot. I mean, he's so unlucky there. But this is great play by John Barnes. Look at that little touch outside of the foot. You see Fowler look up outside of the left foot and just clipping the bar. The keeper was nowhere near it.
Now they come forward again, the ball breaking kindly for Liverpool that time, and they really should have been out. I just wonder, another stride further and he might have been in a slightly more relaxed position. McAteer. Leaving that to Matteo. That's very cool play by Liverpool again. Well, they've taken it on the chin and they've come back.
Well, it's always a sign of a good side when you come back from a blow like that.
Mal McManaman, that's a good position for him. That's to finally judge that. Now, here he is again. Very good ball played to the outside to Bjorneby, who's coming in this side. It's headed away there by Eftervag. Barnes not quite able to pick that one up. Now McAteer. Berger. Patrick Weber, one of the exciting stars of that Czech Republic side. Hasn't scored a Premier Division goal since last September, all the same. He seems to have dried up. Had an exciting start. McAteer, that's what Ray was talking about him. Really, it's the concentration and determination that is so much part of his play. Well, the free kick, almost 12 minutes gone. In terms of entertainment, it's a much better half.
Well, the game has had exactly what it needed. It needed the Brann side to get back in it, and of course to get the equalising goal. And it's now given them confidence, but also it's shown that Liverpool are a good side because they've come back and they've created a couple of openings themselves. And I still say that they should have had a penalty. I'm positive the keeper fouled Robbie Fowler there.
Put in there by Efterberg, and I think a corner kick as Ruddock went for that. Almost saying rugged Ruddock. Try that 10 times, Ray.
I'll leave that one with you.
Across goes Morten Peterson.
Now, they caused a problem with the corner kick in the first half. They've got those same players in.
And look at the wind.
Yes.
It really has got up now. That's what is blowing straight into the Liverpool goalmouth. Up goes the mountainous figure of Flo, trying to get his head to that. Well cleared all the same. Now Liverpool on the break. And just hemming them in. And I think the one good aspect of this is that at least Brann have come out at them, leaving a little bit of space at the back for the breakaway. Barnes played that well. Used to score a lot of goals, but because of his new position, he doesn't score all that many, Ray.
No,
three in about 25 games.
No, he sits more in the middle of the field there. Very rarely does he play long passes. He keeps possession of the ball, plays his little 10 and 15-yard passes, keeps the cream-shirted Liverpool team in possession of the ball.
Now McAteer. Looks back for support. Redknapp. Take it away. That Barnes almost getting to it. Mahasand, goal scorer. Mjelde stringing the passes together now, all right. That was Gleiterson. We had on the far side Mon. Nicely judged. Well, thought that was just making its way towards Flo, and the referee weighs play on. Berger. Matteo. Crowd trying to raise this side now. They were more like zombies in the first 45 minutes. McAteer, disappointing finish by McAteer that time. Redknapp. Always looks as if he has all the time in the world. Trying to think his way through a game. Barnes. Well, McAteer seeing a lot of this ball on this right-hand side. Bjorneby hasn't had as much on the other, and that's the free kick. Hefty tackle there by Klaus Efterberg. Thought to be really a born natural leader. Strong personality. Well, Berger gets free there. And maybe he should have played the early ball, gets another chance, and he's offside. Just a little bit in two minds there, Ray.
Yes, he had half a yard there to get the ball in, and certainly Fowler and McManaman made their runs anticipating Berger to get that ball in first time. But as soon as he turned back on himself, it caused Fowler and McManaman problems to get themselves free again.
Redknapp. Ruddock, and a little bit of a slip there by McManaman. Like to see him get going in this game tonight again. Mjelde. Gleiterson. Way to that far side, and in it goes to Flo. Ball just played a little bit too far for him as Peterson came up to chip that across. And the Norwegian crowd liked that. Here was a ball. Peterson coming into that. Here, sweeping it across towards Flo.
Yes, I mean, there's Ronnie Moran there, one of the Liverpool coaches, obviously not happy with one or two things at the moment and explaining things to the assistant there, Dougie Livermore.
James easily to that. And the referee is penalizing him for wasting time, and he wants to take this quickly. Indirect free kick.
I think actually what he penalised him for there, Archie, was he had the ball in his hands, he dropped it onto the floor and then picked it up again. Of course, as a keeper, you're not allowed to do that.
So, free kick, indirect. Dangerous situation here, but Liverpool experienced enough to defend this. Flo is hovering at the back. And out the race, and away it goes. It really is difficult to take some of these when there are so many players packed into the box. There's Geir Hassund that has scored that quite excellent goal. McManaman. McAteer, little bauble of the ball in front of him. Lost crucial control of the ball there. Barnes. Beautiful ball and great running by McManaman. Too many defenders back there though. Ludvigsson was there, Eftervag. Now again to Barnes. Good ball from the back for Barnes, and so many players in there, it was difficult to cut it back.
Yes, I mean the first opportunity was the best one. McManaman was through there. Fowler pulled off his marker, but unfortunately McManaman's ball wasn't quite of the quality that Fowler needed.
Cross goes McManaman. Was expecting the short one and just touched away. Skyland came across there, just got his head to it. Still one each. New ball coming on. Referee showing...
Why is a referee?
Well, certainly showing what this defence did in the first half. Just kicked the ball down the park, but now an entirely different performance from them. Trying to get that ball back into Mjelde there. The Islander has actually proved to be very useful in the second half. He didn't show up much. Well, none of them did in the first half. Now here's the break. Now McManaman in a position he loves, going out of defence. Beautiful control. Has to cut back though, McAteer. Fowler, no chance of getting that one though. That was actually a wasted ball, Ray. I think they had to have some more variety about it than that.
It was really, because we've talked about how good McAteer is at delivering balls from wide areas. He's had three opportunities. He's had three opportunities to actually get balls in, and has failed with all of them. And Harkness quite rightly going in the book there. It was a two-footed tackle. He can't have any excuses about that. You can't get away with that with the new laws in it. With the old laws you couldn't get away with it, never mind with the new ones. In with 2 feet and in the book for it.
So, free kick. It's been taken by a man who I think has been as steady as a rock. Haven't seen him coming forward all that much. Close Efterbag. Plays it wide. I think it's just gone over though. And I make it now almost halfway through the second half. It's still one each. And the quality of the goal scoring is of the 2 goals that have been scored is at least something that this game will be remembered by.
Well, there's still a long time to go in this game, and certainly I think there's more things that's likely to happen in it, because say the wind is playing a part. It is difficult to defend against, and he's going to cause defenders problems.
Played by Flo, come back just a little bit deeper. Look at the strength of the man coming through, and he wins himself another free kick, which will be strongly wind assisted, and something that might cause just a little bit of apprehension in that defence again. Really batters his way through, doesn't he?
Well, he certainly does. He has got some strength. It'll be interesting. Well, it looks as though they've taken Hassan off the free kicks now. He's had 3 goes and damaged the crowd with each one. So
it's now Piero V. Ludvigsen that looks as if he might take this. Well, a 3 hovering about it as well. Efterbag is there again. Well taken. Redknapp clears. Flo. Well, I think he'd be a useful asset for anybody in the Premier Division, Ray.
Well, I say he looks awkward and ungainly at times, but he's got this strength where he looks like he's going to lose the ball. All of a sudden he comes out with it and in an advantageous position as well.
Let me remind you that Liverpool are said to be, if not on the point of signing him, extremely interested in bringing him to Anfield. Oh, almost a gift to him. Goes after it again. He certainly eats up the distance with that long stride of his. However, ends on a goal kick. Well, this is the 21st European game that Brann have played. The best result against PSV Eindhoven, of course, very famous one as far as they're concerned. Ruddock. Well, that was a wasted ball there by Skyland, because Ruddock had simply put it to his boot. Barnes. I think Barnes has relished this new role over the past couple of seasons now. Fowler. Bjorneby. Redknapp. Very quick tackle, and I thought an illegal one there by Efterbag on McManaman. Well, that's Slander putting him forward again. That's a neat ball. Now Flo. In he goes. This time Berger coming back, helping out his defense, and away goes Redknapp. Now McAteer, let's see what his finish is this time. The last one was disappointing. So's that. Put it too far ahead. Now Matteo. Bjorneby. I think he felt that Berger was off on a run down the left-hand side. Picked up there by August Klitason. Fowler. Nicely taken by Roger Hilland. There he is again, forcing his way through. The man who was given an offer by St. Pauli of Hamburg to sign for them at the beginning of the season turned it down. He wanted to stay in his native Bergen, and he's also doing a university degree, so he's a talented player, but because of other reasons has stayed to play his football here. Number 5, Hilland. McManaman. That's a nice ball inside. Berger likes his distance, and Try to curl it the way round. Now, I've seen him score spectacular goals from about there. In fact, he's that kind of goal scorer.
Well, when McManaman picks him out, it's a good ball back. You actually fancy him to at least hit the target. But as Efterbvar comes out at him and closes him down quickly, he can't quite get his foot around it and curl it into that top corner.
And of course, the man that so impressed everybody with his play for the Czech Republic. I suppose the only game he didn't enjoy was the final itself. Even though he scored the penalty against Germany. Of course, he's a greatly experienced player, you know, with Sparta Prague, then Borussia Dortmund. 2 championship winning sides. There he is again. And he'll get, no, goal kick. You know, this man Roger Helander was talking about, he's a very good solid player in midfield, the kind of player I think would do well in different kind of leagues. And I think a club like Brann simply have to rely on that kind of thing benefiting them. He just likes to live here and study here.
Well, it's a very nice place to live if you like the rain.
McManaman. There's McAteer. Seems to judge it better that time. Look at the colour in that Fowler. Well, he had Bjorneby just behind him here. And it might have gone further.
Well, this is what he's capable of. At long last, he gets a quality ball in, and Robbie Fowler just gets underneath it.
Head to bag. And James will let that go all the way through. I would imagine a player like Patrick Berger coming into English football in any case, you can't simply make an instant adjustment to a different kind of environment.
Well, I think when he originally came into the side, I mean, he was scoring goals for fun.
Sure, he looked good.
And then he had a little bit, he levelled off a little bit, and then he's again, because Colin Moore had been doing quite well, he's found it difficult to get back in the team.
Here's McManaman. Bjorneby's free on the left. Bjorneby going to the line, maybe have done just a little bit too much. No, ball has to be swept for the corner. And the referee, there it is, Ray.
Yes, and Liverpool this time had 3 or 4 bodies to hit in the box. Unfortunately, it was just curled too far away there from
that corner post. Just as you were talking and watching the slow motion replay, Liverpool took a very quick corner and then got another one back. Jamie Redknapp with it. Goalkeeper's there, but I don't think they were too confident in him coming for it. Headed away by the man I was talking about, Helland. Barnes. By my watch, we've 15 minutes left to play. McManaman. Here he goes. Fowler tried to give him assistance. Strong buzz forward there by Paladin. Loses out now. Bjorneby decides to reduce the game to a walking pace.
Well, you wonder how much will fitness come into this last 15 minutes. Let's remember this is Brann's first competitive game for some while, although they've been away playing friendlies trying to get match fitness. But, you know, Liverpool are battle-hardened, and you would think that their fitness should show in this last 15.
Here's McManaman. Can he get away? He's appealing to the linesman, and he was fouled there. It really was a late tackle, but linesman just turns away from him. You know, he's my kind of player, McManaman. I like to see a player like that who'll take on defenders, particularly in these long runs he had. I was thinking about the Euro 96. I thought he was quite superb in that.
Well, he's different, isn't he, in terms of there are not many people in the Premiership who love to run with it and have such tight control as he has.
Well, he's certainly on a long-term contract with Liverpool. Here he goes again. Ball bobbling about for him, but up comes McAteer. Just tucked away from him again. Oh, I think they've realized the kind of play of McAteer, and they've watched that throughout the game. And some of his ball into the penalty box, not of his normal quality. Bjorneby. Barnes. Now McAteer. Thought a hand might have been used. He might get the corner kick from this. No, throw in. I think they have to be reminded, of course, that when he went to Sion and did so well there and came back to Anfield thinking it was straightforward. Look what happened in the game there when he went behind, had to come back again. Quite remarkable. So it's a warning to them about this. Here's a challenge. Seemed to have strained himself.
I think actually it wasn't that siding the ball out for a throw, and it was when the ball struck him in the lower part of the stomach just seconds before.
Yes, I've used that euphemism before myself, Ray. Yeah, I just get the impression that Liverpool, after that, I wouldn't say shaky start to the second half, but the much more incisive start by Brann, I think they may be settling for the 1-1 draw.
Well, at the moment, you would say that all the initiative that Brann set out in that first 10-15 minutes seems to have gone now. Liverpool seem to be back in control and are starting to open them up. And Jamie Redknapp has been outstanding tonight.
That is a lovely ball played out to Bjorneby, and he rather wasted again. I think the ball from wide has been a bit disappointing tonight.
Yes, I would think that you know, Roy would say that he would have expected better balls in from McAteer and Bjorneby when they've been in good positions.
Well, said this man's been outstanding tonight, Jamie Redknapp, showing he can also be physical when he needs to be. Free kick. Peterson lining up to take this. Flo tries to get up and at, and this time Roddick right behind it. Nothing fancy about it at this stage, just get it out of the danger zone. Way to Fowler. Fowler gets a bit of freedom, taking the weight off his defense. Redknapp gets it back. Yes, in an area which has been so congested and the Liverpool players so harassed, Redknapp has been the very epitome of coolness.
Well, he has. He's made room for himself. He's very, very rarely given the ball away. He's always made himself available throughout the game. He's varied his passing with short and long passes, and certainly he could. I was sure that he could be satisfied with his performance this evening.
Well, Bjorneby, referee wagging a finger at him. Did he? There's the challenge there.
Well, I think it's just a case of his...
No, he got the yellow card.
I mean, it's a little bit harsh. He's just grabbed the player's shirt there.
Sadly disappointed about it. Well, Roddick, I don't think Roddick got hold of that the way he intended. That's a beautiful piece of play by McManaman. Now McAteer. Little bit of space. They're screaming for the ball on the far side. That's a better one. Berger! Great breakaway there by Liverpool. And perhaps one of the best moves in the match.
Well, again, it was Liverpool got players up in support. Berger will be disappointed here as he goes to control it. It comes onto his right foot. I'm sure when he tried to control that, he wanted to try and control it onto his left side, and then I'm sure we'd have seen a deadlier finish. But unfortunately, his control brought it onto his right and didn't get the accuracy with the finish.
Away they go now. Flo. Ball played out to him by Mjelde. Mjelde goes inside. Trying to get as many players into the box as they can now. And there's James, and no challenge on James. Flo seemed to give up on that as the ball went to the near post. There's 9 minutes left according to my watch. And certainly one each away from home nowadays in football and in any corner of Europe is a good result.
Well, yes, certainly Liverpool have scored that vital away goal. They haven't been beaten, and of course they've got Anfield to go back to. So in terms of the result, if it stays like this, then they'll be happy with it.
Now they're exhorting on their troops. They responded in the first 15 minutes, but after that, Ray, nothing much came of them, just occasional flurries. I think appealing for offside, no. Matteo does get it away. McAteer can't pick it up. There's a goal scorer. Certainly got a great left foot on him. Peterson swings that in. That comes out very handily. Oh, that's a great opportunity missed. Flo making his way right through. Watches, turns round and lets rip.
Well, certainly, you know, Flo here just gets off McAteer. McAteer goes towards the ball. There's Flo, creates the space and strikes it, and James managed to get his body in the way of it. You wonder if Flo had left it, whether Milder would have actually had a better opportunity, because he was running right onto the ball.
Here's Bjornaby. Now Fowler puts it there. That's offside. You could tell quite easily he'd been left isolated there. Well, Bjornaby has come back. There's the offside, and that's almost at Max Sennett pace. We certainly could see it before then. Bjornaby has come back to his native heath. He's been met by some derisory remarks as he came onto the pitch. Nice touch of fraternity. Oh, Flo's been left on his own. Ruddock left that. The flag didn't go up.
Well, Ruddock put his hands to his head there, and so he should, because how on earth he let that go, I do not know. He couldn't possibly have known that Flo was behind him, and Flo really should have certainly put Brann in front there.
Well, we have seen the kind of asset of his strength and the powerful running, but he might just lack that immaculate touch that is needed, and has been exhibited already tonight by Robbie Fowler. That's two chances he might have scored at.
Well, it's two golden chances which you don't normally get at this level, and really he should have at least put one of them away.
Ball stays in play. McAteer. Of course, when he scored his 19 goals this season or last season, it was in a different kind of football altogether. Back into the hands of Vida Bajos. Can't really make too much of a judgment in this goalkeeper, because again he's had a quitey second half.
Yes, I think I've seen one or two flaws which I think Liverpool will have seen as well, and I'm sure they'll try and work on that before the return leg.
Played forward there by Clesterson. Now neatly broken up. There's freedom and space now for the man who can exploit it very well. McManaman dragging the defenders with him. Out to McAteer again. High one by Redknapp, but he's testing him now. Just a little bit too obvious now. I don't think McManaman was especially happy about that. Wanted the ball played back. And I don't doubt for a moment, Ray, that there will be adjustments made in the Liverpool defence as well before the second leg.
Well, obviously, Mark Wright, I'm sure, will be fit by then, and he would come back into contention. I'm sure that you know, Steve Harkness can be pleased with the way that he's come back into the side after a long absence. Matteo certainly has done his job at the back there. And Neil Ruddock has had a game which, you know, looks like it's the sort of game when he hasn't played in the first team for some while.
Here's McManaman. Liverpool were handed a gift by the goalkeeper there. Well, a slack pass by McManaman, and Robbie Fowler does well. Quick as a flash in there. Barnes. Well, I don't think Norwegian football has been renowned for the flamboyance of the individuals it's produced. Good, sound, technical players. We've seen that again tonight. That should be cut off by Ruddock. Bjorneby. Ruddock. Just neat play by Liverpool. And in comes the captain, Eftevag. Just about over 2 minutes remaining. Still one each. Testing out that Liverpool defense again. Hossan de Gil scored it with his left foot. There was a deflection. Nice control there by McAteer. Barnes. Bjorneby. And all they need now is competence. I think it might be difficult to snatch a goal at this stage. And having said that, here's a build-up for a goal maybe. McManaman coming. Here's McAteer. That's a useful ball. Berger! Well, it's one of the commentating traits to say nothing's going to happen, and something certainly does happen. Almost an own goal there, the captain, Eftevag. But that will do for Liverpool. I think with a strengthened side in the second leg, given all that I've said about the warnings that they have to take heed of from what happened when Sion went there again, I think they've shown tonight they're quite capable of getting to the semi-final. McAteer. Redknapp. A little bit too much in it. But the more you see of him, the more you realize this. There's still a lot of in this player, great potential. A lot of good years to come in Redknapp. Not so many good years for this man, because I think when Christiansen returns, the Icelandic player, he'll be back again. Tell me he's a great Leeds United fan. Flows come back deep, out of frustration, I think, more than anything else. Redknapp fighting well for that. McManaman, McAteer, good play. Redknapp. Now who's in the box? He has played low this time, an attempted dummy, and the final whistle goes. There it is, the final score. Two excellent goals, a quite superb one by Robbie Fowler. The equaliser by Geir Hasson. It ends up a 1-1 draw, and I think Roy Evans there just passing out of sight. Swap jerseys, are you coming to join us next season? I don't know what they're talking about there, but certainly they seem to have enjoyed the encounter. And would he end up eventually with Liverpool? Liverpool, I think, will end up eventually in the semi-final of this tournament.
I would think so, yes. I think that Liverpool have done a solid job. I think that apart from the first 15 minutes of the second half, when Brann actually did get at them, that Liverpool have been in control of it. And certainly I would think that in the second leg that this keeper Bajos will be put under an awful lot of pressure, and we might find out where his weaknesses actually are.
Well, Neil Ruddock had 1 or 2 slips in the game, of course. He might yet be able to take off 1 or 2 pounds, Ray, but then I should talk. You saw him walk away there, but at least the Brann supporters have stayed behind the team. There they are. They've gone across to greet a support that had been rendered almost dumb in the first 45 minutes as their team decided not to play football at all, but simply to put up a barrier, and a barrier that Liverpool broke in the most spectacular way through Robbie Fowler. One of the best European goals I've seen in a long time, Ray.
Well, certainly, you know, we've seen some great goals in the last couple of days, and that goes along with the best of them. It was a tremendous flick, and he knew that he had to volley, so he took it early, and here we see it now. He took it early, and as it landed, just took it on the volley, and that was a great goal. It certainly was.
Well, there we are. That's the voice of Ray Clements you were listening to. That's the goal, the equaliser by Hassan. Ray's been with us again here in Bergen, and from Archie McPherson and Ray Clements, from a rather chilly night, but a good performance by Liverpool. Goodbye.